You're a Hyundai i30 owner experiencing an annoying rattling sound in your car's steering wheel when driving? Well, if you'd like to save some money instead of spending so much on mechanics, watch this video until the end. In this video, we will be fixing this rattling sound. Can you hear it? This is a sound caused by a worn-out rubber inside the power steering module. In order for you to fix this, you have to start by removing the dashboard panels below the steering wheel. You don't even need a big toolbox to complete this DIY job. Even if you have a small toolbox like this one, a 10 and a 12mm spanner, you go. Let's start by removing the small screw on the bottom panel of the dashboard below the steering wheel. Go anti-clockwise with the wrench. Once you have removed the one on the right side, then you can remove the small screw on the left side as well. Once the second small screw is removed, you can then loosen up the small screw on the right side of the dashboard, the one just there by the fuse box. As soon as you remove the third screw, the dashboard's lower panel will be loose and will only be holding by the clamps at the top as well as the wiring plugs. You have to be careful not to snap or break any wire. Once the wires are exposed, you will see two wire plugs. The brown yellow one is for the traction control switch or knob. It is formerly known as the electronic stability control, ESC button, the right control. And the black one on the left side is the headlight leveling switch, a left control that you can use to adjust your headlights to go up or down. It is important to ensure that you carefully remove these plugs and make sure they don't break or get disconnected from their main plug, which is part of the wiring harness. The last plug to disconnect at the bottom is the OBD scanner connector plug. Now this big silver motor and module below the steering is the actual power steering motor that we are trying to get to in order to change the worn out rubber that is causing the rattling sound. You will then have to remove the steering wheel covers that cover around the ignition, the indicator switch, the wiper controls. Simply remove the small screw at the bottom as well as the ones covering around the steering wheel at the top. If your steering wheel is locked, use your car key to unlock it so you can tilt it a bit to the side and expose the screws that are hidden by the steering wheel. You can start by removing these screws on either side of your choice. As you can see, these screws are holding this cover below the instrument cluster. When removing the screws, ensure that you keep them in a safe place and do not misplace them because you'll need them when assembling the steering cover back in their place. The second screw is on the opposite side, meaning if you started from the right side, then you can tilt your steering wheel to the left side so you can unscrew the other side of the cover. Once again, ensure you place the screws in a safe place where you'll find all the screws when it's time to put everything back together. Once the lower steering cover is removed, you can adjust the steering to the lower side so you can ensure that the top cover is exposed enough for it to have space so it can get out easily when you pull it out from the top. As the covers are removed, you will have to carefully unplug all the indicator plugs, the wiper plugs, and the plugs that are connected to your hooter, as well as the control knobs for your infotainment system. As you progress along, you will see the skeleton of the steering wheel. You can lock it so it can be stable, as you'll still need to disconnect the last plugs which are still connected to the steering wheel. If you feel like when locked the steering wheel is hiding the plugs or the connectors, simply loosen the steering wheel and disconnect the indicator plugs.
I know things are crazy when you're with me, and you say my vibe can be risky. I take care of both sides, but I'm shifty. Oh, now this is why I want to show my feelings every day. Show my pride and my demons in a way. Just hold on tight, it's a phase. Just wait. Now this is why I want to show my feelings every day. Show my pride and my demons in a way. Please hold on tight, it's a phase. I'm never patient and darted. Ask me what's on, I got my reasons around it. Give them a station, now I'm dipping without it. Try not to leave, I think your mind is somebody, you know what? Planning out here, first shorty, you should walk through, you could please sit down, let me talk to you, I guess sound infinite vibes, I'm involved with you, but I just tell you about me. This is a story, I fell in love with a mic, it happened after some dollar, you know I should be like, I don't wanna resize, all in the past, I ain't far from refine, girl I'm a man, and this is why, I want to show my feelings every day, show my pride and my demons in a way, just hold on tight, it's a phase, just wait, and this is why, I want to show my feelings every day, show my pride and my demons in a way. Please hold on tight, it's the face.
Baby, we don't make us, I've been going through it. Only way I clear my trip is through the music, listen up.
Now we've come to the crucial part, the last 4 bolts that are holding the steering wheel. You can start by loosening the top 2 bolts, and lastly remove the bolts holding the steering wheel at the bottom. In total, it will be 4 bolts on which you should use a 12mm spanner.
Such your hours, only for the street, like I was before. Why would I get cuffed when I be getting my mouth for my peak? And on me,
This is why.
As you can see here, if you look closer, here at the bottom is where these bolts are located, just closer to the power steering motor. The bottom first one was here, and the second one was here. Now that the steering wheel is loose, you just have to drop it down to the floor. Then you can have access to the connectors of the power steering motor as well as the power steering module that acts as a power steering computer box or ECU. Disconnect them and then pull out the steering wheel to work on it outside of the car. Here you can see now we have access to the rubber in the power steering motor. We've replaced it with a new one that is fresh and new. This is a small rubber that prevents the rattling sound. It goes in smoothly in the small space that connects the gears of the power steering motor and the steering module. Once you have placed it and sure that the surface is clean without any debris, then you can close it properly before installing the entire steering back where it belongs in the car. Double check if all the plugs of the wiring harness that goes into the steering are connected properly. Then clean the entire steering before putting it back in the car. That's it from this video. If you are interested in knowing how to service your own Hyundai i30 and also replace your window washer, check out this video that is suggested here. Thank you for watching and catch me on the next video.